Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. St. James man electrocuted while picking breadfruit. An attempt to pick breadfruit in the community of Coral Gardens in St. James on Tuesday morning turned deadly. Ashley Jarrett, a caretaker in the neighboring community of Iron Shore, was reported using a stick to pick breadfruit when it came into contact with a high-tension wire and he was electrocuted. The incident is said to have occurred about 9:30 a.m. Teams from the police, the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited were dispatched, and he was removed from the tree. He succumbed to his injuries. Thieves spray paint cameras, steal $8 million from Western Union in St. Mary. Thieves made off with almost $8 million in Jamaican and foreign currencies after breaking into a Western Union outlet in Aracabessa, St. Mary on Tuesday morning. The culprits reportedly spray painted the CCTV cameras and pried the grill to the outlet before making off with a vault containing the cash, police stated. The stolen money consists of $6,442,146 Jamaican dollar and 5,935 US, 700 C, 1,720 pounds sterling, and euro $670. Superintendent Bobbitt Morgan Simpson, the commanding officer for the St. Mary Police, said the robbers were fully masked. It was well planned and well executed, so we have no idea who these persons are, Superintendent Morgan Simpson told reporters. The police reported that Monday evening, the outlet supervisor checked the day's transaction, placed the money in a vault, locked it and the business place, and went home. About 3:28 a.m., the Hawaii Security Response Team received an alarm from Western Union, went to the location and observed that the grills to the building were pried. The police were summoned, and it was observed that the robbers spray paint the CCTV cameras on the building with black paint. The police discovered that the robbers pried the grills that led to the upstairs of the building where the Western Union is located, and also the grill at the entrance of the outlet. The robbers then entered, ransacked the outlet, and stole the vault containing the cash. Tivoli Gardens High School student charged after fighting with senior teacher. A 16-year-old student at the Tivoli Gardens High School in Kingston has been charged with assaulting a 56-year-old teacher at the institution yesterday. The student was charged after he and the senior teacher got into a fight. He is charged with assault, occasioning bodily harm. A video of the altercation has been posted on social media. According to the police report, the teacher was conducting her class when the accused student entered and began behaving boisterously. The report said the teacher asked him to leave, but he refused. This led to a physical confrontation, causing bruises and swelling to the teacher's face, upper body, and breast. Commanding officer of the Kingston Western Division, Senior Superintendent Michael Phillips, said the police have several concerns at Tivoli Gardens High and are trying to schedule a meeting with the principal, but it has not yet materialized. We're having some issues at various schools in the division and having met with most principals and are working together to iron out the issues, SSP Phillips stated. In the video, the student is seen pushing the teacher in front of the chalkboard. The teacher goes and takes up a desk, which was taken from her and thrown aside by the student. Amidst laughter and cheering from other students in the classroom, the teacher and the student draped each other. This was when several of the male students intervened and attempted to part the altercation. One of the male students who parted the fight was heard telling the one who draped the teacher to let her go. Another went behind him and attempted to pull him away. JTA again bashes government's compensation review. The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, has once again spoken out against the ongoing public sector compensation review, which it claims will not improve the spending power of the nation's public sector educators. We do not see where the compensation review is making our teachers better off, because we're having to factor this against the current rate of inflation, which is in double digits. We have been waiting on this review, and we're looking for a significant movement as far as the teachers are concerned, and certainly in terms of the salary packages. And so, that discussion will continue, said Jasfred Gabriel, immediate past president of the JTA. Gabriel will address the JTA St. James Parish Association annual general meeting held at St. John's Methodist Church in Montego Bay last Friday. In February, following the settlement of the outstanding 2021-2022 pay issues with the government's employees, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said his focus is on the implementation of the compensation restructure in the new fiscal year. The review is intended to overhaul the structure of salaries and other emoluments paid to the public sector workers and to make it more equitable. The last time teachers' pay was brought in line was 80% of market rates was in 2008. According to principal of Mushet High School, Leighton Johnson, who is a candidate in the upcoming JTA presidential election, with inflation eroding teachers' spending power over the last 14 years, many have resorted to engaging in side hustling. Many teachers have to do other things. Many teachers have to be monetizing their talent and their gift just to make ends meet. But we're saying to the government, listen, we will accept nothing less than being brought back to 80% of the market, stated Johnson. Colleagues, as an united group, we must start that revolution if they do not intend to take us back to 80% of market, he urged. This year's presidential election will be held between June 20 and 24. If elected, Johnson will be the president-elect who will serve during the 2023-2024 administrative year. The current president-elect, Sonia Johnson Harrison, who is the principal of St. Faith's Primary School, who will be installed as JTA president during the 58th annual conference in August. The conference, which was held at the Ocean Course Spring Resort in Trelawney last year, will return to Hilton Rose Hall Resort and Spa in St. James this year. At Friday's meeting, Gabriel expressed concern about abnormalities between some of the salary scales. We're seeing some instances where it's possible that someone who is being supervised is getting a higher pay than the person who is supervising him or her, so it's a lot more work and adjustments that is needed, and so the team is committed to do all the work as far as that is concerned. There are inequities in the salary scale, he said. There is also concern that if compensation review speaks about payment by performance, and so we want full details as to how this is supposed to operate. What does it mean, given the inequities that exist in our system? Given that some students, by virtue of where they are placed, already have a competitive advantage in terms of being ahead of the game with their performances? We also know that in many instances, the teachers who teach in schools that I have the low-performing students are actually working harder, putting in much more effort than teachers who work in some of the more high-profile schools. And so, we have to be clear in terms of what it is talking about if we're going to that route of payment by performance and how exactly that is going to affect our teachers, because we certainly will have none of it if that is going to lead down in terms of negative remuneration and profile of our teachers, Simit added. Also during the meeting, Johnson said that 4% increase in wages and allowances for contract period April 1, 2021 to March 31, 2022, which was accepted by the JTA in February, is untenable and should not have happened. Colleagues, that 4% is a slap in the face of every well-thinking teacher. That is a disgrace. It should have never happened. That is water under the bridge now, he said. Johnson is also calling for teachers to resist the JTA Teaching Council bill, which he claimed will turn educators into criminals if passed, a view that the government has totally rejected in the past. If you are practicing without a license, a judge can determine to charge you up to $500,000 and you get a criminal record. That is untenable, and we cannot sit by and allow that to happen, stated Johnson. We cannot sit by and allow them to make criminals out of teachers, he added. The bill will provide for the licensing and registration of all government-paid teachers and will establish and maintain professional standards for teachers' competence and practice and regulate the professional conduct of teachers to ensure that they are fit and proper persons to teach. It also speaks to the qualification of a registered teacher. A practitioner must either be admitted to a recognized educational teaching program or have completed a bachelor's degree in education or its equivalent, or possess a first degree with a postgraduate diploma in education. Jamaica reports 174 new COVID cases, 2 deaths. Jamaica reported 174 new cases of COVID-19 and 2 fatalities on Monday, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 139,203 and the death toll to 3,076. Of the newly reported cases, There were 104 females and 70 males, with ages ranging from 1 year to 88 years. The cases were recorded in St. James 54, Kingston and St. Andrew 33, Clarendon 23, Trelawney 19, Westmoreland 18, St. Catherine 7, Hanover 6, St. Anne 6, Manchester 3, St. Mary 3, and St. Elizabeth 2. Meanwhile, the latest deaths were a 68-year-old man from St. Catherine, whose death was previously recorded under investigation in March 2021, and a 94-year-old man from St. Catherine, whose death was previously recorded under investigation in September 2021. The court also recorded 101 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 87,975. The positivity rate for the latest round of testing was 38.2%. There are 125 people hospitalized, 3 of them critically ill. There are 3,323 confirmed active cases on the island. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.